This is Paul. Yeah. Daylight savings time began on the 8th. Yeah. And we had an election on the 10th. And I sent you emails all last week. Yeah. And you refused to enforce the laws. Now, there is some real obstructions of justice going on. Yes. When you consider that disinfectants, they don't kill this virus? No. It's been reported that it can live up to 3 days in a disinfectant. Yeah. But my thought is the when air purification, yeah, it does kill it. And then when Giabo, yeah, I know that you say, well, he's just crazy. There's no possible way that he knows any Chinese people. Yeah. But I do think that I have a real lawsuit against the United States federal government for refusing to enforce my rights as a citizen. And I'm going to want to sell, yes, when Giabo, yeah, air purification systems and water purification systems, yes, for large government buildings that are concerned about the effects of viruses. Now, I will, yes, I will have all the necessary documentation to prove, yes, that through the wind air and the wind water purification systems, yeah, they don't live. No. Now, a lot of people said there's no way that he can get, that kind of research. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of scientists, they disbelieve any of the actual documentation that I've provided. Yeah. But we're looking at $1 trillion day. And I feel that there are other nations that are concerned about viruses. Yes. Consider the global advertising of the pandemic of society. Now, let's say I could use the courts. Yes. The courts of this nation. The courts of other nations. Now, there's what's known as the private parties as an individual citizen of this nation. Yeah. That would be the seeking damages for violation of the Sherman or Clayton Act. Yes. Private parties can also seek court orders preventing anti-competitive conduct. Yes. Injunctive relief. Now, for all the air purification systems and all the water purification systems, yeah, I said, well, it doesn't really kill any viruses. No, at least it doesn't kill the COVID-19. I'd like to compete against you. Yes. Now, it could be that one sales point, yes, that gets my innovations put in buildings. Yeah. And your innovation is not put in a building. Oh. Now, for the Environmental Protection Agency that got any emails from me, I'm going to want my sons today, and I'm going to want to stay in a hotel. Yes. And then for the International Competition Network, yeah, Competition Committee of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, for those other nations that said, well, Paul can't do anything. Yes. It's called Competition and Consumer Protection Authorities Worldwide. Now, you'll get me the last 50 years of employees, yes, from A to Z. Yeah. And all those other nations that said, well, we do not have any jurisdiction to enforce antitrust or consumer protection laws. Now, for all the individual residents and their concerns about antiseptic, no, disinfectant not being effective at curing COVID-19. I think I have a few lawsuits against other nations. Yes. There's the Duma that I emailed. Yeah. Why don't you get me the oaths in that nation and all the government buildings of Russia? I feel like Russia needs to make some air purification, yes, water purification improvements in their individual government buildings. And I'm going to want to be, it doesn't require the appropriations of the actual taxation of the people of Russia for you to want to put some innovations in your government buildings? No, I don't think it does. Now, for the employees of the government of Russia that said, well, we don't have to buy what he has to sell, I think you do.